Hello, I am Indigo Sage, an awakened soul, and I need to let you guys know straight from the top that I am not very good with techie stuff. So these slides and everything were actually done about a year ago. This reading that I'm getting ready to use as a tutorial was about a year ago. Okay, so this was done around June, August 2019. All right, so just to let you know, to get a little more of tarot and spiritual awakening and spiritual journey, you can go to my website, which is www.unapologeticallysage.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook under unapologeticallysage.com, and let's get started to sage this out. Basic 3-card spread, step-by-step instructions with text, audio, and photo by Indigo Sage at www.unapologeticallysage.com. Shameless plug. Daily Guidance from Your Angels was the first deck that I was led to buy. I remember waiting for it. I was filled with anxious excitement. I received it in October 2018. I own many more decks at this point, and it remains to be my favorite deck. Choosing a deck probably has steps to it, but for me, I'm mostly led by Spirit, who guides me to the deck. One way Spirit guides me to the deck is by putting the words in my mind, my third eye's mind. I may or may not be aware, but what happens next is magical. In some way, the deck will be around me. Maybe in a store I'm in or online shopping, and sometimes a dear friend of mine may buy a deck and gift it to me, having no clue that Spirit has shown me an image of the deck. In those moments, I feel covered in the warmth and understanding and acceptance. It's awesomeness. Basically, when I see Spirit active, it makes me feel all warm and tingly inside, happiness embodied, joyful glee expressed by me. Okay, I'm focusing now. The image on the far left is the pile of cards out of the box. The image on the right of the pile is the guidebook. I have seen many guidebooks, and so far I enjoy this guidebook far more than all others. It's full of information. It gives the full spectrum of why the angels are giving you that particular card. The explanation length is from 2, sometimes 3 pages, which I appreciate. 75% of guidebooks I've seen include explanations that are half a page. That leaves it open for your intuition, and that is a good thing as well. But the lengthy explanations makes this a fantastic deck for beginners. Now here's the fun part. Time to shuffle. Before I shuffle, I will say a cleansing prayer. The purpose of the cleansing prayer is to rid the deck of low vibrating energy. That's probably why I was almost getting ready to say player. Anyway, moving right along. But it's to cleanse the deck of low vibrating energy and inviting the highest message from Spirit with crystal clear clarity. As you continue this practice, you will most likely develop your own fixed cleansing technique. There are a few ways to shuffle cards. The image shows the simplest way. Spread the cards amongst a flat surface and swirl them clockwise or counterclockwise while holding your question in your mind. At this step, you've gathered the cards and formed one pile. The pile is prepared to be cut. I will explain what it means to cut the deck of cards. To cut the deck means you take the top half of the pile and place it on the right of the pile. Next, you will take the pile on the left and place it directly on top of the pile on the right. Now you have one pile that has been cut. Are you ready for what's next? Here's the exciting next step. Set the cards for the reading. The image shows a simple 3-card spread representing past, present, future. Past is represented by joy. It's the immediate past. The immediate past for you can be anything that you deem immediate past, which means it can be 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months in the past. It's up to you. Joy was in the position of past. Joy says, joy is the highest energy of all. It's the magical sense that everything is possible. Joy springs from appreciating the gifts within each moment. Joy allows you to attract and create your present and future moments at their highest possible levels. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Joy. Don't worry, I am still experiencing joy. This card is not saying that I had joy and now I don't. How it relates to this reading is that although I am feeling joyful, it is encouragement to remain in the joyful feeling. It reminds me that my thoughts can become my reality, so I should keep them positive. I have been living in the power of now moment while enjoying the gifts and blessings God has given me. Please note, it is important to remember the cards will not resonate with everyone in the same exact way. Present is represented by innocence. Innocence. Beloved one, everyone is guiltless in truth, as no one can alter God's handiwork of perfection. Give us your feelings of heaviness so we can lighten your load. Give us any guilt, anger, or blame that may shroud your loving outlook. Enjoy the peace within your heart once again. Okay? Innocence. This card sheds light on the negative emotions that begun to creep in. The guidebook refers to a person judging someone else's guilt, which I had been doing at the time of this reading, which, as I said before, was like a year ago. It goes on to say that a friendship doesn't have to be maintained with a distrustful person, but toxic thoughts must be purged for our own well-being. And I will repeat that. Toxic thoughts must be purged for our own well-being. And it reminds us of the underlying spiritual truth of divine order. This card showed up in the present position because blame and anger began to build due to a situation I was in with someone who had hid the truth and became a devastating disappointment. It's now a cautionary tale that I'm being asked to see as divine order. And I understand how it's a reflection of divine order because I've been able to take that disappointment, learn the lesson, and use it as a catalyst for a phenomenal passion project I'm pursuing. When we feel like someone has wronged us, it may take time to forgive them. The card tells us forgiveness is necessary in order for peace to replace pain. Get into it. Get into it. Future is represented by a child, and that is immediate future. Once again, I'll refer back to the definition of immediate past. So immediate future can be 2 weeks from now, 2 months, so on and so forth. Future is represented by child. Child, You care deeply about children and they are readily, excuse me, you care deeply about children and they readily respond to your love. All children, including your own inner child, require love, affection, and attention. We can clear and open your heart and schedule so that you can give more time and energy to the children who need you. I think that's so beautiful. Okay. Child, this card brought on huge smiles, but not at first glance. At first glance, I'm thinking, how does a child fit in my immediate future? Okay. Once I read more, it was revealed that it was the answer to a question I had in the back of my mind. There is an idea I had been batting around in my mind without telling anyone. It has to do with creating an item that focuses on children. My idea is still under wraps, but with the child card being in my future position, it feels like I got a thumbs up from my angels. The guidebook says, your life purpose involves helping children. I feel that we all can appreciate validation no matter how big or small in its form. If we pay attention, we will see the messages from angels that are communicated with us every day. They've been called synchronicities. I feel the more I walk into my spiritual journey, the more I see them. Once again, I'm all smiles. Dun dun dun. Bonus. Bottom line card is acceptance. Here's the bonus card. The fourth card I choose to ask for represents the bottom line. It is the main message that connects the preceding three cards, no matter the spread. There are quite a few 3-card spreads. The step-by-step process you've learned here is perfect for any 3-card spread your mind dares to imagine. Acceptance. So before I proceed, I want to say that was the conclusion of the 3-card spread tutorial. However, I'm going into something additional that I like to add to the past, present, future, which is the bottom line card, which I find helps my clients a lot with, putting it all together, bringing it all together. Acceptance. See yourself and others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way, you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. What a beautiful card to have as my bottom line. Acceptance. As the spirituality awakened collective deal with day-to-day situations, we are being watched. We are being paid attention to by the people who bring us joy. The people who we are to look upon as innocents and without judgment are peeking at us slyly. You know that they are. And the child will watch us because they look up to us. I became aware of being watched from people telling me that I've inspired them in different ways. At the same time, we can't help but observe everyone else as well. I am being reminded to accept the reality in each moment of life without contention. Acceptance, that there is divine order with divine timing. Accept joy in times that aren't so joyful. It's there. Accept that the people that disappointed you are guiltless and the divine order and timing that forced you to grow spiritually. Lastly, we must accept the responsibility of teaching the children about the sky being the limit and that they are deserving of unconditional love. With that in mind, we must accept those truths for ourselves as well as for others. As I've demonstrated, this deck can be used for past, present, and future. Another way to use this deck is by asking one personal question, then choose one card as your answer. My favorite way is simply asking for guidance for the day. Once that one card is chosen, I keep it with me throughout the day as a focal point. This deck is a perfect deck to use for healing and encouragement. So go ahead and see what message the cards have for you, and share it in the comment section. If you have enjoyed, resonated with, liked this presentation tutorial, please click like and subscribe, and be blessed.